It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Wolfgang Rayner. Wolfgang, tell us about your project.
Well, thank you very much for this interview, and I have to tell you, it's listen like a fairy tale, but it starts like that. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
It was 1960, and I was a young fellow and a member of the Boy Scouts. And as you know, during summertime, we are always looking for a summer camp. And 1960, it was like that, our Boy Scout leader, our chief, actually decided to go to the Waldviertel, ins Weitental. This is near the Danube River from Melk northward. And we came actually to Streitwiesen. This was actually, by the time it was it wasn't a castle, it wasn't, it was a ruin actually, yeah? And of course we had our tents and around these stones and broken doors and half towers, you know, we actually made a nice summer camp, and we used to be, I think, 14 nights or 2 weeks over there. And this was very, very beautiful. But, of course, we thought every time, why couldn't we have a ruin like that for good, forever? That means we could go for a weekend over there, we could come with other groups together there. So this means youth will meet there to make very, very helpful and sensible things. So, what we thought, we did. 1972, I just returned after a couple of years from East Africa, and I was asked if I could do with some other older or the elder Boy Scouts, you know, to start a project to establish, to rebuild this ruin to the castle.
What did you think? How did you feel when they asked you that?
I actually thought my friends are mad. But, you know, as long they started to study and drawing plans and buying stones and buying concrete and so on, I thought they're really doing it seriously. And then our old Boy Scout leader, named Karl, he actually started to have a meaning behind it, and he said, no, we're going to make actually, how should I say, an Ritterorden. I would say, what is it, knights?
An order of knights.
Order of knights.
Really?
Correct, yeah. And so all of these 11 blokes standing around, they became a cap. A cap.
They got a cap.
They got a cap. The leader was in black, and the others were red, and the other had some greens and so on. And every weekend until 1999, they started to reconstruct this ruin to the castle, to a burg.
Just one question. That's how many years?
It started actually 1972. So this means almost 20 or almost 30 years they were building and building and building.
And they were able to do everything, the carpentry, the wiring, the whatever.
You know, two of these 11 blokes actually, they are building engineers.
They're building engineers.
They are building engineers. And they start to get all these construction job. And the other ones, they are not actually so handsome for building. They made the concrete, and they had the wood, and they started to make, how shall I say?
What do you mean?
Actually, I mean...
The scaffolding.
That's
building
right.
The scaffolding.
That's right. And every week you could see, or every month you could see 3-4 meters, they started to grow the tower.
I've just got one question. Many of the Boy Scouts involved probably started quite young. They grew up with you. They grew up with this project.
They grew up with the project, and not only this, they got some other friends, from other Boy Scouts, or from Germany, or sometime of the Swiss country, Switzerland. They came for a building holiday. So
they came for a building holiday.
Yes,
that's
fantastic.
Right.
And every time they started to saw the woods and to knock the stones and so on, and they digged the old stones out of the earth,
They dug the old stones out of the earth. So a lot of hard work.
So sometimes there were 50 or 60 young chaps, they actually tried to get it every time done. Now, the first thing was very important, water. So we got a connection with the water pipe from this village down there. Then the second was, of course, the toilets. So in the first tower, which we got ready, there are nowadays 3 cabins for the shower, 3 cabins for the water closet, and we have everything done for the sanitary hygienic. Yeah.
You mentioned the village.
Yeah.
How do you get on with the villagers? Is there a good relationship?
Yeah. At the beginning, those people actually, they thought we were hippies.
They thought you.
Yeah, they thought we were going to with drugs and flower boys and so on. But whenever they saw that we are serious working on it, then they asked the mayor of this little village or more some villages. Then they asked the fire servicemen, they came with their car and bring water and so on. And from time to time, more help came from these people from the village.
So the original people who thought you were hippies and bad people, now they've grown up too, and
they have changed their mind, because nowadays, and especially now, I would like to speak out an invitation that you just come on May 1st.
May the 1st.
May the 1st. We have got always Burgfest. That's a festival in this Burg. Then all this from the village, the band, the brass band is coming, the mayor is coming, and quite a lot of people of all these fringe villages, and the youth of these neighbor villages, they're baking bread, barbecue, and they bring honey, and just really, it's a festival,
Brilliant. A lot of people come, and you mentioned a few minutes ago shower facilities. Do you get many guests from abroad?
Well, nowadays, yes. So approximately 3,000 youngsters a year. They are just coming and having their camp over there, or the summer, or sometime of just a weekend camp over there, and then the evening they have got a very big fire yard. They're putting out guitars and they're singing, and it's nice,
These young people, Boy Scouts, are having a wonderful time. Are the Girl Guides represented as well?
Of course, yes. The Girl Scouts here as well, and the other group called Wandervögel and Neurotter Jugend, and where all they come from. Sweden, from north of Germany, Switzerland, even Italian Boy Scouts have been already there. And in one group of our Boy Scouts in Linz, they are making this Scouts on the Air.
Scouts on the Air, what's that?
They have got their, how you say it, Funkgeräte.
Transmitters.
Transmitters, genau,
They've got a radio station.
And they're talking with Australian Scouts, and they're talking, and what you're doing, and so on. And that's nice, this gives you such a neighborhood around the world,
That's very, very, very interesting. How important is belonging to something like the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts for kids?
Oh, my goodness. Time has changed. Nowadays it's very hard to find newcomers. Because for me it's quite different. It was 1949 and I joined this Boy Scouts, they called by the time Wolfcubs. And that's right, the small one. And then later on I came to the Boy Scouts, and from the Boy Scouts I came to the Robbers, and then I have been one of these leaders of the groups and so on. And nowadays to acquire actually new young children, girls and boys, I mean, yeah, it's very, very difficult, because when I have been first time on a weekend trip, you know, none has asked, have you got the right shoes? Have you got the proper pullover? Have you got the sleeping bag and so on? But nowadays, you know, the parents are coming there, you know, and asking, where do you go? What do you make with them? How long can they sleep? How much did you get to eat? And so on. So it's getting more and more difficult to take a certain response for a handful of young children, you know.
The parents have all become control freaks.
Yeah, that's right.
Helicopter parents, they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
What is the future like for your project?
Also the future is that we have the Burg is I would say to 60% rebuilt, but 40% have to be still done. That means we have to dig in the earth, might be the fourth tower, because 3 are already there, rebuilt, and the fourth is still underground, you know. This means we have to might be to dig 5 to 6 meters down to get the stones out, you know. And then and then you have got the yard closed, you know, it's a square.
It's an enclosed courtyard.
That's right. 3 towers already fixed, and the fourth will be done, might be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or something like that. But it's not anymore that only young people are coming there. Nowadays, say for instance, our group where I'm still working, we have got the average in age, you say 70, 75. We just also come there, we make our camp there. We have got 3 or 4 guitar players with us, and we're just singing the same songs as the youngsters.
Is everybody welcome to come and join in?
Everybody is welcome. There's no entrance fee to be paid, and you can come during the week. Of course, it's quite difficult. It is not every time anyone there, but most weekends, you know, we have got from this Burg group is somewhere there. Say, for instance, the caretaker. He is open to work, and he guides the visitors there, and they can ask, and they will get answers and so on. But everyone is welcome. Everyone.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Have you got a website where people can
That's
get
right.
information?
Yeah, there's a website as well.
Okay, you can get the information for this website on our website.
Mm-hmm.
www.talk49.co www.talk49.co.
This project started how many years ago, Wolfgang?
1972.
And it's set to
That's
continue
more than 50 years. That's
50
right.
years. So this is your life work.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to say, but I'm quite sure even the youngsters now from this Burg, they are, how many there? I think 15 at the moment. They are working not so often as we did in the past.
Well, they've become old too.
Of course, but they will bring their children, or might be their friends, or their grandsons might be the one to the Burg, you know, that's for sure.
And are you still looking for people to come along and hammer wood and cut wood? And
That's right. They're always invited, even for a meal or for a tea or a coffee or whatever is ready. They can sit with us, and we can talk with them, and you can sing with us if you want.
and help rebuild?
Helps rebuild, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So your project is set to last for another 25 years,
I would say another 100 years.
another 100 years, and that's a great place to stop. Wolfgang Rayner, thank you very much for speaking to us. I'm Nigel A. James, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.